If President Trump decides to veto the coronavirus stimulus package, which is tied to a large spending deal, the government would shut down late Monday night. Water could continue to rise, and in some areas, it's deeper than 10 feet. Right here is Airport Road. Biggest concern right now is the chance that any water left on the roads could turn to ice overnight as those temperatures begin to drop. The Thunder stopping a game tonight against the Jazz just before it was about to tip off. Now the NBA deciding to suspend its season. Tonight, the State Department of Health unveiled their new strategy to get more people vaccinated. And we bought the backpack, as you can see, and we put it to the test, shooting it both with a 9mm handgun.
The car show, of course, looks a bit different today, complete with carnival rides, games, and food. But people that come year after year say it's still the same atmosphere of fun.
You may want to throw a couple of extra logs on the fire tonight, Tony. It is cold out there.
Extra blanket in bed, whatever, Erica.
Yeah, Mike, they're actually calling it a potentially bad batch of heroin. To you and I, though, it might sound like an oxymoron. What started as a meeting to discuss how the jail trust would move forward with that $34 million from the CARES Act fund ended with a huge decision to remove ICE agents here from the county jail. Non-stop deliveries. Getting supplies to grocery stores, hospitals, and schools.
I'm running frozen food, and it gets down to the company, and then they cook it, process it, and get it to the schools. And it makes me feel good to know these children getting fed because they need the help. I mean, right now it's bad. It really is. I mean, it's hectic, but it's worth it.
Along the way, they're taking the proper precautions to stay safe from COVID-19.
Truck, I see my glove, I got my mouth cover, I got my hand sanitizer. You know, when I get home and I open my garage, all my clothing out in a bath truck, you know, and I go straight to the bathroom, take a hot shower, and then I say hi my family.
No, you'll be safe.
A busy time on the open road. Doing what it takes to keep essential supplies flowing to Americans who need it most.
We truck driver are keeping the economy rolling, you know.
Using a CB radio. Can anybody hear me? We talk to drivers passing through Oklahoma City to see what's changing the most for them. Do you have to wear protective gear whenever you're loading up the truck and delivering?
Nope, they load them, they unload them. We stay in the truck now. They bring paperwork to us.
Is that new protocol?
Yeah, that's what you're telling me.
Others can't pick up orders without first being checked for symptoms outside the gate.
Right there where I pick it up in the refinery, they won't let me in the gate if I got a temperature, if I had any symptoms.
But once they're cleared, it's non-stop to get everything to its final destination.
Yesterday I had some plastic masks for hospitals.
How many of those did you have to deliver? Do you know?
Hell, I didn't deliver them. It was a whole truckload of them.
Despite the delays and the dilemmas, it's something these guys say they're proud to do.
Right now, it's like, it's amazing because we know we're doing something good for the country.
Yeah, Wendy, this area is completely flooded, and the further back you go, the deeper it gets. And this is just one example of the homes and houses that have been impacted here from Hurricane Sally. You can see just how high the water is going up on that fence line. Now, I did talk to a homeowner. He lives just around the corner from here. He tells me his entire home was flooded and it's full of water, but it's still not enough to get him to leave.
Got 3 foot of water going through my house right now.
Video taken by Tom Wilson shows rushing water forcing its way through his home Thursday.
This is Hurricane Sally. Still showing her strength.
2 days after Hurricane Sally made landfall, Wilson is far from a state of panic.
Blackwater River, we're having fun over here.
Accepting that the storm surge Wednesday was likely only the beginning of his problems.
Next morning, the water level went down. I was so glad I could see grass in my backyard. And then the rivers up north started flooding, all the Baker River and everything crested and started coming this way. And the water actually came back up higher than the surge.
Rising water from Blackwater River and Coldwater Creek, now the biggest threat for Wilson and his neighbors. But he refuses to leave.
I mean, right now I've got water that is just 12 inches below my electric box. I still run my air conditioner. I stayed in the house last night and watched YouTube all night.
He says he plans to wait for the water to recede,
The computer's still above water, thank goodness.
assess the damage,
That's my recliner.
then work to rebuild.
I can swim good. I float good. This is life. Every day is given to you. Make the most of it.